Hello everyone! So good that you could join me. My name is Granny Ricky and it is story time. The story we have today is called Lucinda Belinda Melinda McCool. That's the name of this little girl here. That's quite a name, isn't it? 3 rhyming names and the surname McCool. Lucinda Belinda Melinda McCool was written by Jeanne Willis and illustrated by Tony Ross. The most beautiful girl in the whole of the school was Lucinda Belinda Melinda McCool. She dressed like a princess and smelt like a rose. She was perfectly primped from her head to her toes. Everything in its place. Look at her straightened hair, her rosy cheeks, her long, colourful rainbow stockings, and she is walking down the street. Oh dear. Look at these two having a look at her, wondering who is that. But Lucinda Belinda felt it was her duty to guide all her friends in the subject of beauty. She'd point out their faults very loudly in class and insist they correct them in front of the glass. That doesn't sound very friendly, does it? Here she is in the classroom with this long stick she's pointing to, drawing she's drawn on the blackboard. Here she's drawn someone with a big bum. Here she's drawn somebody with warts. It says Waterama. Here she's drawn nasty nails, flappy ears. Oh goodness, look at those big ears. I wonder whose those are. And bristly brows. And here she has a mirror and she's making everybody look at all their faults and try and correct them in the glass, in the looking glass. Katie Crothers! Good heavens, your brows are as scruffy as I've seen on a schnauzer. Here's a schnauzer, and she says that Katie Crothers' brows look like a schnauzer's. That is not very friendly, is it? Abigail Snape, you have ears like an ape. Keep still while I stick them back neatly with tape. So here she's taping up Abigail Snape's ears because she says her ears are like an ape's. So she's taping them flat so that they don't stick out like that. Nigel, just look at your nails. They're in tatters. Scrub them and file them. Yes, Nigel, it matters. Yeah, she's busy filing Nigel's fingernails. Miss Worthington, kindly get rid of your warts. And Binky, your bottom's too big for those shorts. Can you imagine telling Miss Worthington to get rid of her warts? These spots on her nose and on her face. Belinda really has got a bit of a cheek, don't you think? No one was safe from Lucinda's advice. Grandpa, she said, your moustache isn't nice. Sit down and don't forget. Sit down and don't fidget. I'm reading the word wrong. I'll give it a trim. Grandma, you're next when I'm finished with him. Grandpa looks really frightened of her. She's going to give him a moustache trim, and Grandma is so frightened she's hiding behind the chair. Even the cat looks a little bit afraid. Here's Lucinda with the scissors in her hand, the hairdryer and the mirror. Lucinda Belinda got hold of the cat. No kitten of mine goes looking like that. Look at your fur. It's all over the place. Relax while I style it to flatter your face. Can you hear those hardy-dars outside? I've always got hardy-dars flying around my house. They're quite noisy birds. Sorry if they're interrupting the story. Look at Melinda here, combing and brushing the cat's fur. She's doing a pretty good job with the cat. Whenever Lucinda Belinda left home, she carried her mirror and tweezers and comb. There she's off with her bag, her tweezers, her comb and her mirror. Off she would go with a smile on her face to make the whole world a more beautiful place. It really looks like everybody's quite afraid of her. As she comes along, they hide behind the trees and in the bushes, and here's two hiding behind the bench. I think Melinda has got a bit of a reputation. All very charming and lovely and good, till she met with a monster who lived in the wood. Oh, look at that! A monster with blue hair, blue fur, and red high heel shoes, and a nice bright red nose. A terrible, horrible, hideous beast. Wasn't she terrified? Look, there she is, looking up at the monster. Not in the least bit terrified. Goodness, you're ugly, she said. You're a mess. Your shoes and your handbag don't go with that dress. Your fur is all filthy. Your fangs are a fright. She showed it her teeth, which were pearly and white. So Melinda's teeth are pearly and white, and she's showing the monster what pearly white teeth look like. Appearance is everything, Lucinda said. You look like a monster. You're better off dead. But I'll make you beautiful. That's what I'll do. Even your mother won't recognize you. So here she is, armed with all her tools, her scissors and her comb and her hairdryer, and she is going to make the monster so beautiful that even the monster's mother won't recognize it. Before the poor monster could give a reply, she washed it and trimmed it and blew its hair dry. There she is, and she's blowing the monster's hair dry. It was painted and preened, it was powdered and primped, it was shaved, it was sprayed, it was styled, it was crimped. Yeah, she's doing a total makeover job on this monster. Bows in the hair. There, she declared. Now you're truly divine. Your face, why, it's almost as pretty as mine. Now you are beautiful. We can be friends. But sadly, not all stories have happy ends. So Melinda now wants to be friends with this monster only because she's beautiful now. Friends? Roared the monster. Lucinda, you're mad. Under this beautiful me, I'm still bad. My hair may be fair, but my heart is still dark, and my minty fresh fangs can still bite like a shark. My monstrous mind is still black as a cinder. So now I must eat you, Lucinda Belinda. And the monster ate Lucinda Belinda right up. Look at that! Tossing the bones, tossing Lucinda Belinda's bones. There's her clothes. He didn't eat the clothes. The shoes. And nothing left of Lucinda Belinda Melinda McCool. And that's what it did. Though it looked like a saint, you can't change a monster with powder and paint. Oi, oi, oi. I can tell you now that that was quite a sad end for Lucinda McCool. I don't think people really liked her. She was too haughty and full of herself. Thought that she was the most amazing person, but actually on the inside she was really quite nasty, pointing out everybody's faults, what she thought was wrong with them, comparing them to dogs and to apes. Not very nice at all. And here she's filing Nigel's fingernails. That's a pretty good job though. And Miss Worthington, get rid of those warts. Grandpa and Grandma are petrified of her. Look at Grandpa cowering up on the chair and Grandma hiding behind the chair. And the poor cat. The cat came out pretty well though. Got a good makeover. And as she walked through town with her scissors and her comb and her mirror and her tweezers, everybody hid. They didn't want to have her near them. It looks like these three didn't get away. Look at the rosy red cheeks she's painted on them. Do you think they look good? I think they look quite stupid. And then comes the monster. And of course, what did we learn here? No matter what you do on the outside, no matter how beautiful you make something look on the outside, on the inside, if it's bad, it just stays bad. And of course, that was a tough lesson for Melinda to learn. She did a complete makeover of the monster with the hair drying and the combing and the priming and the painting and the powdering. But in the end, the monster said, I'm still who I've always been. My heart is still dark, and my minty fresh fangs can still bite like a shark. My monstrous mind is still black as a cinder. So now I must eat you. And that's what it did. Look there, the monster, all made up, sitting at a picnic blanket in the park. And it has eaten Lucinda Melinda Belinda McCool, tossing the bones onto the pile. And there's nothing left of her at all. Wow. Did you enjoy that story? Do you know anybody like that who finds fault with everybody else? Not a very nice thing to do, is it? Instead of pointing out all the good things in people, Melinda decided to point out all their bad things, which is so sad, because nobody wanted to be her friend. She was all alone and eventually eaten up. Thanks for joining me for this story. Remember to subscribe. I really want you to subscribe so that we can make sure you get all the stories in the future. Bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye, Serena. Mwah.